This bloke says to me, "Miss Hunt, I've got no idea about this guy." I go, "Well, what do I do? There's a number of you. I've got no idea." Yes, I had your old number, so it must have been one back in 1972. There's a landline on that. It's not old timers, it's old timers. Yeah, I was talking to them last night.
We don't have a
I just think it's a shame that
because we can't see anything. Kevin Smith, Graham Hill, Nolby, 75 next month. Paul Smith, 10. I remember
assistant. Oh, we're waiting for... No. Oh.
We'll start. Yeah.
No bottles left. There's a water fountain just up the back there with cups.
good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's very easy to get lost in that music. And it's wonderful to see the house full. Thank you all for being here this morning. A special thanks to those on our live stream. Please, you are with us just as if you were sitting in the seats among us. Welcome. We gather today to mourn the passing of Laurie Honan. We gather to say our final farewells. And we gather to pay tribute to Laurie's life of 84 years. Mary and Troy and Ray Lee, and Kim and Richard, and Shannon and Emma, and Josh and Dale and Matthew and Andrew and Rick and Lil. You've lost a very special man. A husband, a dad, a pa, and a brother. A bloke who lived life to the full, could we say. And while our hearts are broken, the memories and the experiences that we've gathered with Laurie will sustain us. They will. Today is a day of sadness. But it's also a day to celebrate Laurie's life. And we will smile through our tears. I don't think this man would want anything different, hey? Now, I didn't have the privilege of knowing Laurie, but I've been told of the man who loves people. Very obvious, very obvious. He was able to feed off people's energy. He lived a full life, an exciting life, and had a very, very strong life force. He was entertaining, full of stories. He was impulsive. The jet boat that he thought he might just have. It'd be nice, he said. It was explained to him that it was probably a bit difficult to manoeuvre and get onto and get off, but it was still in his mind. And Kim got a message from Dad. I found a rowing machine. Where is it, Dad? Oh, it's at Woodlawn Laurie. You can pick it up for me. Well, it was explained to Laurie that you will be stuck with it. But he was still wanting to be fit. It'll make me fit. It'll help me be fit again. Still looking to be well. He was generous. If anybody needed a hand, he'd be the first one there. And most of you would know this, if it had wheels, Laurie could drive it. He loved bright music, Mary said, to drive to. Because he loved driving. He loved driving. It was like therapy to him. The kilometres, the miles just rolled under the wheels. And he had some sort of sense of humour. There was a three-wheeled scooter fashioned after a Harley. And he set it up so and took a photo as if it was towing the caravan. Laurie was very protective of his family. And at Montrose, the Montrose Honan hideout had a sign telling people so. And there was a very silly group of young blokes on the cans. Let's take the sign. And they did. Now, Laurie was operating a security company at the time, so he had access to shotguns, didn't he? So he grabbed a shotgun and followed this car full of hoons to a scenic lookout. And he came back with the sign and put it back together with barbed wire. Troy said that the lads probably received an attitude adjustment from Dad. He loved his animals, and he always wanted the cat. Always wanted the cat. No, he didn't get the cat, did he? No, no. He loved his birds. I mean, we're on Raymond Island, loved his birds. At one stage there was a koala came to visit inside. There was a kangaroo in the front yard. And I thought to myself, Mary, it's been some sort of life on Raymond Island. He lived for excitement and adrenaline, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever came, Laurie was up for it. So I'm going to say, let's reinforce all those wondrous memories that we have of Laurie. And we decided on this for our first reading, and it's been around forever and ever, and it applies as much today as when it was written all those years ago. And I sort of think this might be Laurie. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms to all. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and ignorant, because they too have their story. And if you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It's a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. And beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it's clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labours and aspirations. In the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. Because with all its sham and drudgery and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. And that's the old desiderata, and I think it applies beautifully. We put together, I get to go first, we put together a précis of Laurie's 84 years. He was born in Flemington on the 8th of June 1941 to David and Marion Honan. And the three boys, Patrick or Rick, there you go, I'll get it eventually. Lance, who was passed, Rick, and this fella to whom we pay tribute today, Laurie, the three boys. And because Dad David was in the army, the family moved around quite a lot. Now, sadly, David and Marion separated, and the three boys were split up. Laurie went up to Gembrook. He went to school at Cobain and moved to Garfield with Mum Marion and commenced a baking apprenticeship. Now, we acknowledge that Laurie started work pretty early. We thought about 12 years of age, Troy, didn't we? Now, I love this bit. Laurie was the sort of young guy that the girls liked and their dads didn't. Hey? He had a motorbike, and I think it was Troy or Kim who said he was just a lad. I love it. He met Barbara, who was of Greek Egyptian heritage. Barb arrived in Australia when she was only 14 years old, and she was working at Arnott's in South Melbourne. Gosh, we had a manufacturing industry. Laurie saw Barb walking, and Laurie would hassle her. Not in a horrible sense, not at all. But he'd scare the heck out of the other blokes if he could. Reduces the competition, you see. And they were married at Ascot Vale, or Moonee Ponds, we thought. And they were living at Deer Park because Laurie's dad David had a house out at Deer Park. Troy, you arrived in 63 and Kim 67. And Kim had a few health issues just as a baby, and but Laurie, proud as punch, proud as punch. He took, it would have been mum and dad, took you around to show you to the rallies, which was fantastic. But then Kim turned blue, such was her health issue, and quick, back to hospital. Laurie tripped, fell and broke his arm. So there was, back in those days, there was no work, no pay, but that was easy fixed. And the bottom line, Kim was back to hospital, and you came good, Kim. Laurie was working in the construction industry, doing scaffolding in the city, and he had a bad accident. The scaffolding collapsed. Scary even just to read it. Laurie fell and broke his neck. Well, no compo back in those days, once again, no compo. He needed to work to provide for his family, so he landed on restoring antiques, and he sold at the Campbellfield Trash and Treasure Market. He wasn't afraid of trying different things or hard work. Now the family brought an ex-commission house, 42 Cuthbert Street in Broadmeadows. They were there for a few years, and Troy said it was an interesting time living at Cuthbert Street. Then to Gladstone Park. And he recovered from the scaffolding accident and became a technical consultant for sealant company, PGH and Diamet and Epires. Bob and Laurie enjoyed camping. Barb and Laurie enjoyed camping at Malakuta for many, many years. School holidays and Christmases for 3 weeks at a time. But sadly in 1981 there was a separation. Barb and Laurie. Laurie went to Cairns, and he was driving a tour bus in Cairns, and he began writing to a lady. That was 1985 as a pen friend. But he also sent a cassette with very, very strange accents, Neri, didn't he? You would have gone, what is this man saying? Anyway, it must have worked, because Neri came to Australia and they were married at the registry office in Melbourne. And during the honeymoon, it was a trip to Melbourne, from Melbourne to Townsville, a driving honeymoon. Didn't worry Laurie, the distance, the car was just getting warmed up. They were living in Flemington, and Laurie was working as a delivery driver for a transmission company, and Neri worked with Australia Post in the City GPO and Flemington PO. Now, a workmate had a holiday house on Raymond Island, and Laurie and Neri went up for a holiday, and they found a house for sale. Laurie used a credit card for the deposit and super for the payment, but just like that, bang, just like that. And they moved eventually up to Raymond Island. And on Raymond Island, while their time there was camping and four-wheel driving and up to Malakuta and sailing, we bought a boat. We bought a boat. Now Laurie's had boats all of his life, and Troy's got a good story about a boat later on. Now on this particular Christmas, there was Christmas dinner and Christmas Day on the boat, and a huge feast, ladies and gentlemen. Tin of sardines for Christmas dinner. Never ever one to sit quietly. Laurie and Neri enjoyed variety bashes over the years. And then COVID appeared. And it was that time when Laurie tested positive for prostate cancer. And medical treatment, as we all know, was very, very hard to get back then. And it may, it's one of those thoughts that sit on your shoulders, it may have exacerbated the condition, not being able to get the correct medical attention. And after 18 months, it moved from his prostate into the bones and the organs. And he had chemo and he had radiotherapy and he had an experimental trial. And it was over a course of 5 years. Laurie was still as sharp as a tack, and I'm sure those of you who have been part of his world in the last 5 years would attest to that. But he had lots of medical issues. And on Saturday, July the 5th, this man who just loved people and loved life left us. And we sort of wish him peace, although I reckon wherever our spirit might go, I think there'll be some action going on. There's some adventure going on. Now, Troy and Kim, you're going to come up and share with us, please. Come on.
I'd like to thank the family and friends for attending Dad's celebration of life. As we all know, Dad loved people and people loved him. No matter if you had $1 to your name or $1 million, he treated you the same. Dad would talk to anyone in the streets. He loved a conversation or two. With Dad, it was expect the unexpected. He loved adventure. Dad had no boundaries. Anything was possible. I know many of you in this room will have a story about Dad that will put a smile on your face and warm your hearts. A lot of people think Dad's passion for caravanning started 15 to 20 years ago. Well, let me tell you a story. It was around 1974, with Dad's spontaneous nature, he had returned home to update the family that he had bought a caravan. So a 3-week caravanning trip was organised. Up the Hume, across the Cooma, across the Highlands, down to Bega, and work our way back down the coast. 2.5 weeks into the trip, we stopped at a small town called Paynesville, where Dad, true to his nature, traded in the caravan for a boat. There's not many blokes that do that, but my old man, yes. And I thought to myself, I think his caravanning passion is over. So, no, the boat wasn't much. It was a small fiberglass hull with an 18-horse Johnson. At the same time, my uncle, auntie and my cousins had joined us for a weekend holiday at Paynesville. Dad wanted to test the boat. So we launched at Paynesville. Dad's idea was to drive it up to the Mitchell River. I don't know why. It's no more than a 5 or 6k trip, 30 minutes tops. Uncle Warren was going to tow the trailer around to the Mitchell River boat ramp and wait for us. Dad, Shane and I departed in the water. The weather had turned nasty, white cap on top of white cap. We were all drenched. I had water running down the back of my neck out the crack of my arse. About halfway across the bay, the motor stopped. Dad tried to get the motor started again, with no success. At the same time, Shane and I tried to paddle the boat to shore. As the weather was getting worse and worse, and in the process of all this, we lost one of the paddles. And as you know, with one paddle, it's only good for circle work. At this point, things started getting serious, but Dad was never fazed. He grabbed the rope, tied it around his chest, the other end to the bow of the boat, and jumped overboard. Somehow, he towed the boat in, Humphrey Bogart style. It's a true story, this. He managed to tow the boat to the outside shoreline of the Mitchell Silk Jetties. They pulled the boat up on the bank. At this point, we had been gone for 3 or 4 hours. And we looked like 3 drowned rats. We got to the dirt road and started walking down. Not long after this, we saw a car driving towards us. There was Warren, Carmen, Mum and the kids. Mum and Carmen were so happy to see us, they were screaming with tears of joy. There was plenty of hugs for Shane and I. As I turned around and looked up, as you can imagine, Carmen and Mum ripped into Dad. As I turned around, I looked at Dad copying it. As I turned around and looked at Dad, he gave me a wink and I knew we're on for next weekend. Now at the Honan house, every weekend was an adventure. So I'll leave you with this. I never knew what happened to that boat. It may be rotting on the side of the banks. Or Dad shoved it up the arse of the bloke he bought it off. And with that I'll leave you. We'll miss Dad. All of us. So, thank you for that, guys.
Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming to see Dad off. You would be just stoked, so many people.
Bring the microphone down a little bit, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start this one by saying to Dad, Honan, how dare you decide to turn around and curl your toes up 2 days before I was meant to arrive and spend the week with you for a visit. Dad, you were my protector, my confidant, my best mate, my everything. From taking me shopping to buy my first bra, to chatting with my 17-something self about boyfriends, the facts of life, and everything in between. When I replied, "It's okay, Dad, I know all about that," the absolute sigh of relief on your face and your reply at the time. Thank Christ for that. And a change of subject. We could talk to each other about anything. These are the memories that, although embarrassing at the time for a teenage daughter, now I will cherish forever. From my proudest moment of you walking your little girl down the aisle on my wedding day. It is said that there is a special bond between a father and his daughter, and this was true. I was my father's daughter. Love you, Dad, and your memories will remain with me forever. Always was and always will be your onion.
Well done. I love that. Weekends at the Honan household were always an adventure. Now, time to pause for a little bit. We're going to watch a photographic presentation of Laurie's life with some appropriate music, Cal. Thank you.
Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. Like a song of love that clings to me, how the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more unforgettable in every way. And forevermore, that's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Unforgettable in every way, and forevermore, that's how you stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. pretty in the sky are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking and singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dreams that you dare to, why, oh, why can't I?
That's what I was mentioning earlier on. That memories will never be taken from us. When our tribute to Laurie is at an end, ladies and gentlemen, please, you are almost far and wide. Soon after, he was a rouseabout on a sheep and cattle station, then back to the city, Melbourne, truck driving. This was the start of many occupations, all of which Laurie took on as a challenge. Just to list a few in order: a truck driver, a roof tiler, an undertaker. Yep, Laurie had a turn at our world as well. A crane driver, a travel tower operator, a bus coach captain, and if you speak to Neri a bit later on, there's a little bit of a giggle about being captain. No, I'll sort of say it now, that Laurie sort of let slip that he was a captain, and Neri thought, oh, okay, righto, pretty flash. He didn't quite finish off and say that he was a coach captain. Not that that matters, because a good coach captain is important. He was in the building industry, as I said, as a SEAL representative. He had his own business in a commercial security. That's where the shotty came out. And in later years, Melbourne City Council, Chris, as a law enforcement officer. He even worked as a deckhand on the fishing boats and lakes. So he's tried it. And in all of these occupations, the wonder of Laurie is that he made many friends and provided for his family. He enjoyed shooting and fishing and boating. We've heard about the boats from Troy. Four-wheel driving with Neri. Camping and caravanning, and an urge to live on an island. Laurie and Neri were open house people and always had a stream of friends visiting Raymond Island. Laurie, the tour guide and the teller of great stories. Laurie was a very proud husband, father and grandfather and brother, I'm sure. Thanks, Rick. Very, very much. And Laurie, I share this on your behalf. I might need some translation maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. When Laurie came to the Melbourne City Council, he came and introduced himself and sat at the Anzacs table. Now, the table was a mixture of Vietnam vets, a couple of islanders, and one from the Middle East. We had 3 women and about 8 men. Laurie fitted in well with this group. He had a good sense of humour, and he nicknamed one of the women 2 Prunes. I asked why. He said, because she's too ugly to be 1 prune. Now Norrie says that Margaret was not ugly at all. Another one with Rainbow. Now remember, Kim was onions. Another one with Rainbow. We never knew what colour her hair would be one day to another. Another one was Spack Filler. This is because she wore so much makeup and perfume. When all the ladies came out of the locker room, they all smelled the same. Laurie did the usual traffic officer duties and bylaws, and here's his cap, and there's a photo of him. Is that booking a family car or booking? Yeah, you're going to book it. But it has been said of traffic officers. He spent some time in the duty office. He loved to travel. One morning he came in and said about the Burke Police Bash. All up, we went on 3 bashes with Melbourne City Council officers. He still had a sense of humour on these trips. At Boulia, in Queensland, we camped at the Rodeo grounds, and one of these friends we made there on the trip had his swag tied to the Rodeo fence, and after a barbecue provided by the townspeople, this friend went to the dance. When he came back, he couldn't find his swag. Little wonder, Laurie and a few others had moved it to the other side of the wooden fence, which you couldn't see through. The next time we saw this friend was at Carumba Caravan Park, where he was chasing us with a tomahawk, screaming, "I'll kill you, you Mexican bastards!" We always get Mexicans up that way, don't we? Later on, we had a drink together at the Animal Bar. We also did trips here and there up through the centre, Cooper Pedy, Ayers Rock, Kings Canyon, and other areas. Other areas that 99% of other travellers would not see. We stopped just before crossing the dry Fink River at the Fink. Yeah, Neri said, as Laurie went right. Neri said to go left and Laurie went right. Well, he was in charge. And come to a sudden stop in the bull dust. He didn't understand why. He put the window down and got covered in bull dust, and those of you who have travelled will understand that. In case you don't know what bull dust is, it is very fine dust, which runs like water into a hole. On that trip we followed the old Gan rail, down through William Creek and Maree to Port Augusta and home. Laurie used to come and stay with us on the island, and eventually bought their home there. We'll miss you, mate. Norrie, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Your turn.
Chris?
Yes. Chris?
Norrie.
Will be there first.
Hang on, we've got a ringing. We've got a ringing.
I don't really need this microphone, but anyway. I was a mate of Laurie's for 25 years or something like that. We built the back room together, put all the stuff up in the room, and it was originally a carport, but we put windows between the posts, uprights. It looked good, lasted a long time, had a few good parties, had a few good drinks. Yeah, he talked me into buying a caravan. Later, that was number 4 later on, so it kept on going. But I'm going to sell it now. Yeah, we just had a lot of good fun. Talked to each other every day, basically. Used to ring him about 11:30 every day, so he knew who it was. And then people sort of caught on to that, and they started ringing at the same time, so I changed times. And so it was a bit of fun. And after he passed, Mary rang me about midnight. I'm going to cut pretty short. And a little later after that, we got a phone call, but nobody answered. And Amy and my wife said, "Oh, it's probably Laurie." So catching up on us. But I've just about forgotten what I was going to say. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Good morning. What a crowd. I knew he had a lot of friends. Is it any wonder? Any wonder? I guess sort of Peter said keep it short, and I know Laurie would have said I don't want to see 6 Bill's cat pages. So here it is. Oh, where do I start? I can follow up on Chris, you see, in his Bibles. I used to work in the city. There's a couple still here today. Yeah, Marg, Jet. Someone answer their phone, please. And I used to get my hair cut at Aussie's in Flinders Lane. It got a bit difficult because you'd go in to get your hair cut and you couldn't have a bloody chair because the chairs were full of these bloody bylaws officers. Full of it. There they were. And there was Honan at one stage, sound asleep. Yeah, only he could do it. Now, Troy spoke of boats. I'll tell you another boat story about him. Take this one which way you want to. Troy bought a boat, and I can't think of the name, model of it, but it was known as the banana boat. It was a big, long boat. Remember the banana boat? Neri might remember this because I think Neri wanted to, well, I sort of got the Neri look. Well, Laurie took us on this cruise up around the canals where the tour guides at Painesville lives. I think Neri knows where this one's going to come from. And the girls were wearing these hats, I sort of like the original Vietnamese hats and what have you. And there we were. And here was the Chardonnay set on their balconies, looking at us. And I was looking at them and I thought, yeah, it's all right for that bloody lot. Come and look on the island, much more comfortable over there, nice little house, you mongrels. And here they were, picking the Turac Chardonnay set, look at us. And I'd had enough, to which I suddenly stopped and said, oh, excuse please, which way's Centrelink? Well, okay. But that banana boat was a fabulous boat. We had some fun in that, didn't we ever? Caravanning. One of the photos shows Laurie with the van with Caravan World. I do a lot of stuff with What's Up Down Under, a TV program, but did you know it or not? They got him to tow that van, and it was a competition, and they won it. They won that competition. He was ever so pleased. Caravanning. Well, Anne and I were away caravanning up the back of Buckleton, whichever one you call it. And there was a sign and it said Honan Downs. So I rang him, hey bloke, you got any rallies up here? No. Well, there's a town somewhere called Honan Downs. Can you have a look at it for me? Take it apart. Yeah, no, you, Laurie. 75 k's down this bloody road. We get there. There's a big gate, locked, padlocks everywhere, mailbox had 2 months worth of mail in it, and here was Honan Downs. 75 k's back to the caravan park. Next morning we're leaving the caravan park, we come round the bend and here's a sign. Honan Downs, 17 kilometres. And I rang him, I said, you mongrel! 75 each way, and what have I got? Lock gate, full mailbox, bugger that. Caravanning was interesting, but Laurie loved his four-wheel driving also. This particular day there was Anne and I and Warren, and we're up the back of the hills at the back of Dargo, somewhere it was, and Laurie said, oh, we'll go around here and go around here. And I used to nickname him Shortcut Ho. He knew every backtrack, he knew this, he knew the backtrack. It was a shortcut, hence his nickname, Shortcut Ho. Yeah, we're chopping along, we're going down this thing, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, I'm in the front seat, I don't like this. Because as you sort of go down, the grass was green, but it was sort of growing up a bit. And I figured nothing's been down here for ages, and if the grass is growing up, I said, stop. He said, no, she'll be right. Stop, for God's sake, stop. He did. And Warren and I got out. Remember this? About 10 metres further on, thank God we stopped. Thank God we stopped. It was hilarious. It really, really was. No shortcuts. But all over Gippsland, you could not lose him. He could lose you. He could lose you. And it was all so interesting. On my little note, what have I forgotten? There was one thing which was somewhat humorous from memory. Oh, the island. Yep, that was last. Roman Island. Very interesting place, lovely place, and a lovely little home that Mary and Laurie had. Of course, there were the visitors that came off that ferry. They wanted to see koalas. Didn't want to see Laurie or me or anyone else, just koalas. That's fine, that's what it's there for. And, yeah, drop bears. Laurie had this big stuffed bear, so we got it out one day and put it out the front near the edge of the stream. And you get a combination of Chinese, Japanese, Germans, Poms. The Poms are the most interesting, actually. And there was this Pom one day, and he said, oh, come, he said, is that wine? I said, oh shit, don't go near that one, mate. Do not. Oh, it's a dangerous bloody mongrel, that. Oh. Try further up the kangaroos, they're good. He says, oh. I said, you Poms, you bits of boxing. Well, yeah, we were good at that. He says, there's a good boxing kangaroo further up, you'll see him. He didn't believe it, but anyway, no wonder they can't play cricket. At the end of the day, it was interesting. Lovely place, lovely island. The koalas, there was one affectionately, you'd wake up in the middle of the night and say, what the hell's that? He named this particular koala Chainsaw, hence its name. When they arced up looking for a girl, as most men do sometimes, yeah, interesting place. But Laurie, when, well, I was in hospital and Anne came in and gave me the news, and I must admit that I did go to pieces. I went to pieces. And I was thinking about today and I thought, I think I've done better than expected, but what'll I wear? I don't know what to wear. An old suit is no good anymore. I'm dressed by Anne today, and I thought, I'll wear a tie. And Honan would have said, what are you doing with that thing around your bloody neck? That's what he would have said. He hated ties. He liked hats, he liked caps, but he hated ties. So this morning there I went into the bathroom, got the tie, looked at the mirror, and thought, Paul, try this and the blood pressure will grow up. It'll go up. Nurse Samantha, where are you? And that's what I thought, because she's here today, actually, Jeff's daughter. And I would say that nurses, thank God for you, the way you looked after Laurie in that time when he was going through a bit of hell. Gee, do we need nurses? They were wonderful to him. Me too, but at the end of the day, mate, fly high. Travel well.
Well done.
Now, how you can get yourself into trouble. Thank you for that, John, by the way. Thank you. Norris gave me this to read out earlier. And Chris, I didn't deliberately forget you. I've got you listed here. But I thought, Chris Norrie and then Norris. Oh, it must be the same person. So, sorry, Norrie.
And I'm a Polly too.
And what? You what?
I'm a Polly too.
Still can't play cricket.
Righto, second reading, and this is fair dinkum. It's amazing how words don't need to be in great novels, but they tell us stories. It's called As We Look Back. As we look back over time, we find ourselves wondering, did we remember to thank you enough for all that you've done for us? For all the times you were by our sides to help and support us, to celebrate our successes, to understand our problems and to accept our defeats, or for teaching us by your example the value of hard work, good judgment, courage and integrity. We wonder if we thank you for the sacrifices you made to let us have the very best. And for all the simple things like laughter and smiles and times we shared. If we have forgotten to show our gratitude for the things you did, well, Dad, we're thanking you now. And we're hoping that you knew all along just how much you meant to us. Now, we're going to take a pause, ladies and gentlemen, and because we are a house full, we'll keep it to Laurie's family to come and say goodbye to this amazing fella. And a little bit of gentleness in Johnny Mathis, the 12th of Never. Thank you, Cal.
You ask how much I need you. Must I explain? I need you, oh my darling. My roses need rain. You ask how long
Georgie, where are you? Please come and share this little poem with us.
I'm the Irish Catholic part of the family, so I wanted Laurie to have a Celtic farewell. May the road rise up to meet you now, and stars begin to shine, and Irish winds blow soft and low through groves of ancient pine. May heaven hold you in its arms as loved ones bid farewell, while memories sweet as Irish ray in hearts forever dwell. I'll miss you both.
Thanks, Georgie. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen. It's time to say farewell, our farewell to Laurie. And I thank you all for being here today. We've heard so many memories. I said very, very first up, the memories are what sustain us. They keep us going. The time of looking at the photos and you go, I didn't remember that. And then all of a sudden it's back there. And I would love to know in the coming years which one of Laurie's grandchildren sell a caravan and buy a boat. He has led an extraordinary life, lived it to the full. A big adventure. But we wish him peace. Rest peacefully. Let us now commit Laurie's body for cremation, and in doing so we acknowledge that we come into this world with nothing and we depart with nothing. However, the wonder of our time on this earth is that we leave behind warm, enduring memories to mark our years and to sustain those left behind. For those of you who like Laurie, may memories be your comfort, and for those of you who loved him, may you hold a sacred place in your hearts and a knowing smile on your lips. And I know I just said it, but I'm not going to say again, rest peacefully, because there are going to be so many more adventures. Thank you all for being here. As I say, the Bairnsdale RSL, ladies and gentlemen, if you're able. And our final song, as we take Laurie on his final journey, it is time to say goodbye. Andrea Bocelli and Sarah Brightman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
us out of the chapel and exit the side doors as well. Thank you.
Laurie, and her breast. Her breast, Laurie. Oh my God, Laurie. He's resting now, Laurie.